It's 5 o'clock, and it's time for the XRL. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Kenzie Retro here. It's round 13 of this action-packed season already, and we are getting ourselves ready to get... we're just about to get underway right now. Everyone's starting to ready up. We've got Harry with me in the commentary box as always, just making sure his audio is included as always.
Yeah, I'm here, and I'm ready to go.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's Belgium. This is a firm fan favourite on the calendar. So this will be an interesting one to get. See if anybody can predict this. How many people do you reckon are gonna retire thanks to Eau Rouge? Nope, scratch that. That's Radion, actually. I know that joke's been done to death, but come on, it's a gold mine.
Yeah, and I'm hoping, like, I'm probably thinking 2 will go out at Radion, but overall retirements, I'm probably thinking like there'll probably be like 5, because it will probably be chaotic around this circuit.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. No bans to report on for this week. But we have been informed that Penku has encountered some technical issues, but he has assured us he will be here for the race. So last season here, as far as who got the pole and who won, it was Ultimate who won here. It was Ultimate here that got pole position here last season, and he was able to convert that into a win. One of his 9 wins in X1 throughout his career here. 999 Snipes, good evening to you, good sir. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. Big news story in the world of Formula 1. Today, Lewis Hamilton is going to be getting a knighthood at the New Year's Honours list. This year's New Year's Honours. Now, for me, very, very well deserved after everything he has achieved, not just this season, but throughout his career, and of course, being one of the head figures in ending racism, not just in Formula 1, but in the world of sport in general.
And I think Penku has joined the session. So he's came in at the start of qualifying, so hopefully he will have time to set a lap.
Yes, indeed. He's got 18 minutes. There's plenty of time. So let's just run through quickly the runners and riders for this evening. We've got Tamer, Sasha, Sack, Path, Philip Nilsson, Jazz, Hazel, Erdica, Ollie, Ledger, Danny, Mon, Anderson, Waddington, Lopez, Minea, JBL, Penku, Hurricane, and Ultimate. That is your lineup for this evening. So I was commentating elsewhere last night, and thanks to the transfer window that took place before Singapore last night, Sack and Waddington are teammates on Saturday nights as well as here on Sunday afternoons for the XRL. I mean, how's about that? And even, I say, Ledger was in the Formula 2 division, which I was commentating on last night. So, yeah, interesting how things have played out on Saturday night. So hopefully that will give them some sort of experience at Singapore before heading to Singapore for the XRL. Here, Wallington in the stream chat saying he can't get enough of me, and I can't blame you. The partnership that those two have is just on another level. So let's right on board with Jazz as we go for a lap round this legendary circuit, the longest circuit on the calendar. Jazz heading through La Source, heading down the hill now and up to Eau Rouge. And Radion, does he lift? You lift slightly. Very easy to invalidate your lap on that complex down the Kemmel straight.
Well, I just want to ask you something, Kent. How did you do in F2 on Wednesday night?
Well, yeah, that was a very fun evening round this track, especially. So what happened there was I had finished 4th in both the feature race and the sprint race, resulting in me finishing 3rd overall. But thanks to the penalties, so I'll just get that incident report up right now. Patriot in County Red. Not leaving sufficient room. Yeah, it resulted in me getting a 10-second penalty for my incident with Patriot at for Patriot. Well, I ended up getting a 10-second penalty for my incident with Patriot through Eau Rouge and Radion, and I got another 10-second penalty for not slowing under yellow flags. I mean, okay, I can live with that, but despite that, I ended up I stayed 4th in the feature race. I was 4th in the I was 4th in the sprint race, but I got booted down to I got booted down to 7th thanks to the penalties. But even at that, I still managed to finish 3rd overall. And that was all thanks to the fact that I got a better result. Me and Zola tied on 16 points as well as Starfish. But because I got the better feature race results, that resulted in me keeping 3rd place. And as far as being reserves is concerned, I am currently 2nd out of all the reserves. So not a bad day at the office.
Yeah, I was out at the time, but I was like seeing that your name was on the list. I'm like, okay, let's see. I'm hoping to see how he'll do. Because you did say it's been a while since you've been racing.
Yeah, not just for the XRL, but in the F2 cars especially. Let's say the F2 cars are more prone to oversteer compared to their F1 counterparts.
Yeah. I'm hoping to see how Path will do today. Try to redeem himself after crashing out in Hungary, resulting in Nelson closing the gap in the championship.
Yeah, that was a massive game changer in the championship, but Nilsson wasn't able to close the gap as much as he would have liked. But despite that, the championship standings, while you're on the subject, as Tamer comes into the pits, we'll go with Ledger. So, while you're on the subject of the championship, let's have a look. Path still on 180 points after his crash in Hungary last week. Nilsson, 158 points. He's 22 points behind. To put it into perspective, a win for Nilsson and Path being well outside, well down on the points, possibly like 8th or 9th at the very most, could very well put Nilsson back at the top of the championship. But he's got Sack behind him on 157. Waddington's got 103, Ledger 66, Ollie 64, Penku 57, Ultimate 56, Hurricane 42, and Lopez 39. That is how the top 10 is shaping up in the championship. And then in the Constructors' Championship, as Ledger is coming round the bus stop chicane, Sack retires from the session. He's very happy with his time. Ledger comes across the line with a 1:42.946, which puts him 7th in the Constructors' Championship. McLaren 338, Haas 268, Ferrari 128, Alfa Romeo 122, Racing Point 113, Williams 94, Mercedes 61, Red Bull 52, Renault 47, and Alpha Tauri tied on 57 as well. And oh, Ledger! Oh my! Yeah, he's lost it. He's lost it at the top of Radion. He's lost it at the top of Radion. That's him. He's gone. He's out of here.
Very weird position.
Yeah, it's
almost
right
on the racing line.
Yeah, right smack bang in the middle.
Interesting to see how Ollie will do as well today at his home race.
Absolutely. So there is going to be some. There's going to be some pressure on his shoulders, but that's not going to stop him from putting on a show for his adoring home fans.
Nelson goes even faster. 1:42.263 is his time. Wallington is coming through the last corner now to set his lap time. And he goes 7th with a 1:42.7.
He'll be very happy with that. Mon is coming through Blochemont now. And these yellow flags for one of the Williams drivers. I'm not sure which one it would have been. But Mon coming round the bus stop chicane now. DRS open and across the line. And he goes 9th with a 1:43.025.
And that Williams was XRL Ultimate. And JBL has had a spin at the top of Radion. But luckily he avoided the wall. He needs to get back on that track safely.
He's not just avoided the wall, he somehow managed to avoid damage at the same time. And we saw Erdika come across the line, and so 44-1. Not quite what he was after, but not much he can do at this point. But nevertheless,
Lopez is in the drop zone. Hopefully he can get himself out of there.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's say this is the longest track on the calendar, not just on lap length, but also quite possibly on lap time as well.
And could we see some rain in qualifying? Because there is dark clouds looming around the circuit. Oh, Erdika and Tamer have had a collision.
Oh, dearie me.
Erdika's been spun round.
Yeah, Erdika was worse off on that one. That was at Lake Coombe, the Lake Coombe chicane.
And that'll be one for the stewards later on.
I've just been informed. Zola saying top 6 times, separated by less than 0.3 of a second. That's how close it is between the top 6 right now. Ollie retires from the session. Waddington retires from the session.
And Erdika sustained a little bit of damage from the collision he had.
He's lost an end plate. Yep, I can see that. He's lost an end plate. No, he's had to...
Oh,
that's not... Yeah, not what he would have wanted. Let's see if we can get a better shot. He's going through Stavilo now. Yeah, you can see there he's just driven past. He's lost an end plate. He's aborted the lap. He's gonna need to come back in. JBL coming through Lake Coombe now.
He's the only one that hasn't set a lap so far. He needs a good lap time if he wants to make it into Q2.
Indeed. Those that are in the drop zone at the moment as Nilsson retires from the session. Lopez, Tamer, Danny, Erdika, and JBL. JBL's not set a lap time yet. Ledger will also be out, so we'll be down to 14 drivers for the second part of qualifying instead of the usual 15. So in a way for the XRL, there is somewhat a fair bit of emotional weight for this race, because back in August, about 3 months ago, to mark 1 year since we lost Antoine Hubert, they had an exhibition race round this circuit with some liveries and helmets inspired by Hubert's home country of France.
And I wonder if
JB,
anyone will wear those helmets for today's race in tribute.
it doesn't look like anybody's wearing pink helmets or the France helmets at the moment. But JBL has come across the line. It's a 1:43.623, and you know what you were saying about the rain. Here it is. It's just started to rain.
No, it's going to make it a whole different perspective if this is continuing into Q2 and Q3, because heading up, especially heading up Eau Rouge and in Radion.
Yeah, that is going to be very interesting to see who has the biggest grapefruits to be able to go flat out in these tricky conditions. Zola in the stream chat saying that's Q1 over. I would imagine so, because it looks like it is definitely going to start getting heavier as we progress through qualifying. Yeah, JBL comes into the pits. There's the boss. He's invalidated his lap. But I don't think anyone is going to be able to improve on their time. Erdika, interestingly, on an out lap, as is Tamer. Minea's on a hot lap as well. That's bold.
Erdika's...
Erdika's going for it. Managed to get through that relatively cleanly.
Erdika has been given a 5-place grid penalty for that collision he had with Tamer earlier on.
Now that's interesting that Erdika gets penalised and yet Tamer somehow walks away scot-free, when Erdika was the one that was worse off out of the two.
And it wouldn't really matter for Erdika because he's last anyway.
Absolutely.
The rain is coming down very heavily at the moment.
Yeah, it is getting heavier. Yeah, I don't think it's going. Oh, and there we go. Erdika's invalidated. Yeah, that's it. Q1's over.
I'm surprised when the people that are in the pits haven't retired yet. They know they can't improve.
Yep. Hang on a second.
Lego, Sasha, and Penku, they're retiring from the session, knowing that the session is over with this rain. So you got Jazz, Ryan Hurricane, Minea, JBL, and Tamer out on the track, braving it out. And now Ledger has retired. Oh, Ledger's left the session. In fact,
I wonder if he's encountered some technical gremlins.
Yeah, because it'll be a bit too early. like, you expect Ledger to leave during the race if it wasn't technical gremlins. Well, Jazz is on a lap. So far, he hasn't invalidated the lap.
Yeah, but I don't think...
Oh, Manea's crashed, I think. There is yellow flags.
Yeah, that is through Pouillon.
So that just shows it is getting very slippy on the track. So look, it's Lopez and Erdica and Manea and Ledger will definitely be going out. So it's just
Ledger's back in.
Tamer is also going to be out. It's up to JBL to see what he can do, and he's not quite quicker. So JBL is most likely going to be out in Q1.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think is he aborted? I don't think he's aborted the lap.
Well, his ERS is down at 0.
So yeah, he has. So he is out in Q1. Yeah, he definitely aborted the lap. He's 4 temps down.
Yeah, JBL's the only one that's out on the track. But he is going to finish the lap. It's not going to make a difference though. So it's Ledger, Manea, JBL, Lopez, Tamer, and Erdica who are out of Q1.
And there's Erdica with the 5 place grade penalty. Not like it will matter anyway, since Erdica will be starting from the back, and Lopez will most likely be fuming with himself, not able to get out of Q1.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the rain coming down as hard as it was at the towards the end of qualifying there.
And I'm wondering, would we be seeing wet tire, like full wets, coming on in Q3?
It wouldn't surprise me if that was the case.
And now it gets very interesting. Wet qualifying around Belgium.
Oh, we're actually down to 13 drivers. Oh, that'll be because
Manea. Could be. I don't know. That is interesting. And there's confirmation. Intermediates are on. It's looking likely it'll be Path will be the first one out onto the track. And you can see how quickly that rain's come down with the spray and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I wouldn't be at all...
Penku says in the chat he's not in Q2 and he's wondering why. So that's why it's 13. Penku was set the top time in Q1 and is not through.
That is bizarre. And I think that's a case of he'll be fuming with Codemasters that he essentially got robbed of a chance at pole position.
Now let's just see how these drivers are going to cope with this circuit.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the high speed areas.
Yeah, it's just Jazz, Mon, Anderson, and Waddington that are not out on track at the moment. But the Ferrari of Mon is coming out. And one of the biggest things to take into account heading into this weekend's race onwards is that you'll be able to see it later in the race, folks. That we the commentators will be able to see who has how many penalties,
which will make it very easy for us.
It does somewhat remove some of the tension away from the climax of the race. And Path does have a France-inspired helmet. I can only assume that'll be the helmet he normally wears, given the fact that he's from France, as well as Hubert. Penku and Zola not happy about the fact that Penku isn't in Q2, but not much we can do about it at the moment.
And he's all,
I mean that
he is complaining about Cody's in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just typical Codemasters. Oh, Hurricane's gone!
Oh. Well, there's the first victim.
Top of Radion! That's our second victim at Radion this in qualifying.
And the first in the wet weather. How many more are we gonna see? And Danny, who was on a fine lap, probably, I think, slowed down a tad. So that's his lap pretty much, I think, a bit ruined.
Yeah.
Just Warrington and Ultimate that is in the pits at the moment, but we still got time in the session. But I think they should be getting out now, just in case the track starts to get very wet, almost too wet for full wet. So it'll be
153.9. That's his first time in the wet. Ollie with a 154.4.
Danny's going very slowly in the second sector. That's why yellow flags were displayed. Yellow flag sector 2. That's the red.
Yeah, that was.
That's Danny.
Yeah, that was Danny letting the Haas of Sack through.
He was on a lap, but then he was caught up in the Ryan Hurricane crash. So during his lap, so he slowed down, which was very safe, I think.
Yeah, but still well played from very well played there from Danny, not getting in the way of anybody's laps. And Sack 53.4. Now, we have seen in the past that Nilsson doesn't... We've seen in the past, especially last season, that Philip Nilsson doesn't do well in wet weather conditions, but But looking at his time, he's only about 3/10 off his teammate. So, he must have been working on his wet weather pace throughout the off-season, and I think here, it must have paid off. And they've got, oh, hello! Race control DRS enabled.
So maybe it was a light drizzle. And Warrington, who has not been out, along with Anderson, are lucky because I think this means it's time for the dries.
But the question is, what compound are they going to go for? Are they going to go for softs or are they going to go for mediums?
And we should be seeing very soon. Well, Sasha goes fourth with 1 minute 54.4. And I don't think anyone will be setting another lap unless they don't I think they realise it is dries. Could be.
Indeed. So and there we go. We've got drivers. We've got drivers going on to dry weather tyres now. Ollie has switched to mediums. Anderson has gone for mediums as well. What's Waddington going to pull out of the bag? Path going for softs and Jazz going for softs as well.
Anderson is on mediums. He's on an outlap.
He's the first of the drivers out on dry tyres at the moment. So he's essentially the guinea pig, if you will, testing these dry conditions.
Interestingly, Ultimate, Jazz, and Path are going for softs, so that might not be good for the strategy.
Well, it is a one-stop. It is an easy one-stop round this track. Soft to mediums, mediums to softs. Easily a one-stop here.
And Anderson goes straight back into the pits. So has he made a mistake and is he gonna go on the softs?
Well, he invalidated his outlap, so I can only assume he's going to try and have a crack at going for a soft tyre run.
So far, Jazz, Mon, Anderson, Waddington, and Ultimate haven't set a lap yet. And we got 5 minutes left of Q2, and it's gone to dries. So that rain didn't last long. So it's going to be powerful, be setting the first lap time on dries.
So Path the first on the dry weather runner on a hot lap. Big lock up there, heading through Bruxelles. Coming up to Pouon now. And now the campus chicane heading through to Stavelo.
So Hazel is on mediums, he's on our flying lap. Interesting to see how quick he can
Indeed.
be on them.
So we've got, so just having a look. Sack, Sasha, Hazel, and Waddington all on mediums. Everyone else going for softs, apart from Hurricane, who crashed at Radion earlier on in this second part of qualifying. But here comes Path now round the bus stop chicane. DRS open and across the line, a 142.341. Now that should comfortably see him through to the next part of qualifying. Hazel next to set a lap time. Coming through Blanchimont now. Just got the bus stop chicane to negotiate. He's done well to manage his ERS throughout this whole lap. And he comes across the line with a 1:43.744.
Now it'll be interesting to see, with everyone out on track, at the moment, who will go out, because it's currently looking like Waddington and Ultimate, maybe Anderson, depending on how this works, and because it's Codemasters.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we know Hurricane's out, which begs the question, are we going to be down to 9 drivers instead of 10 for Q3? Here comes Nilsson now. Bus stop chicane to go. He's gone for soft tyres. That's interesting. And he comes across with a 1:42.317, less than 300ths quicker than his teammate. Mon, the only one on an outlap right now. Jazz, Mon, Anderson, and Waddington yet to set a lap time.
Waddington's coming.
Sasha.
Waddington's coming through the bus stop chicane. And onto
Sasha gets a 42.9 for Sasha. Was Waddington could have pulled out of the bag. 43.2 puts him 4th.
So we got five drivers have set a lap on the dries, and we've, well,
Ultimate 42.3 puts him 3rd. Here comes Danny.
Sachs put in a
43.6.
brilliant second sector.
Hazel in the pits. Here's Anderson. Coming through the bus stop chicane now. Jazz, Mon, and Anderson are the only drivers yet to set a lap time here in Q2. Anderson 45.8. That puts him 8th at the moment.
Sach goes 4th.
42.8.
Ollie is now coming to cross the line. He goes fast.
And he goes fastest!
For the home crowd.
They are very happy with that. Now it's just Jazz and Mon that are yet to set a lap time. Hazel's retired from the session. That's bold. Is that going to pay off? Yellow flag sector 3.
This is Jazz and Mon's one and only shot of making it through. Jazz will be the first. Jazz will cross the line, and he goes 7th.
And he knocks Anderson out. He's knocked Anderson out.
Now can Mon knock out Hazel?
He's got 43.7 to beat. He's looking very strong here, coming through the bus stop chicane. What's he going to pull out of the bag? He goes 7th, and that's Hazel gone. Hazel's gone.
Anderson's on the lap. He can knock out Danny.
Don't discount Anderson just yet.
Waddington has invalidated his lap. Danny's gone into the pit, so Danny's most likely out.
Anderson needs another half second to knock Danny out of Q2. And is Anderson going to make it? Yes, he does! That's it. That's it. There's your top 10. Ollie, Nilsson, Path, Ultimate Sack, Sasha, Mon, Anderson, Jazz, and Waddington are all through to Q3. Danny, Hazel, and Hurricane are out.
And Hazel will be fuming with himself, making that call to retire from the session. Definitely he wasn't safe with the place he was. And that's him out.
Absolutely. Definitely not what you would have wanted, but what else can you do at this point? And this is one of the reasons why this is a fan favorite for the calendar. It's just You just never know what's going to happen.
Mons had a collision with Jazz, but they were both AI. And Mons' front left is popped off. And it says Mons out, along with Danny, Hazel, and Ryan Hurricane. And
so we are down to 9.
And Mon was clearly in 7th, is out because of that incident with Jazz, and there's been no penalty for it been given out.
That is,
and they were
very bizarre.
They were both AI as well.
That's definitely going to be one for the stewards to look at after the race. But nevertheless, we're down to 9 now instead of 10. It's Ollie, Nilsson, Path, Ultimate Sack, Sasha, Anderson, Jazz, Waddington.
Waddington was lucky. He was in 10th as well, and he would have been out. So
yeah, absolutely.
Because of Mon crashing, that promotes Waddington into 9th. So Waddington would be happy, sort of, with that.
Yeah, as it, and with Mon being 10th, technically, that means because he's in the top 10, technically, does that mean he'll be starting on softs, or is he going to be able to have free choice of tyre?
And we're waiting to go into Q3 for some reason.
Yeah, I was going to say Sack, Sasha, and Waddington are going to be starting on mediums, so they'll be able to have a longer first stint than those ahead of them. But like I said earlier, it is going to be an easy one-stop here. Softs to mediums or mediums to softs.
I wonder what's going on. Like, we're waiting for key 3, not happening at the moment.
Oh, message from the boss in the Discord server. We're about to get a message from the boss shortly. See what the boss says. It's just responding to Sasha in the in Discord server. And Waddington has left the session. Looks like everyone is leaving the session.
So maybe we're getting a lobby restart.
Yeah, looks like it. Hang on. Heads up.
So they'll probably have to get themselves back in. The drivers that are in Q3.
Yeah, Waddington being one of them. See, yeah, there you go. We're into Q3. Here we go.
Got it sorted eventually.
So who do we think is going to get pole position, folks? An ultimate first out onto the track. So I am going to be very intrigued to see how this is going to play out. Waddington, the only driver still in the pits at the moment. So here comes Ultimate through the source. Heading through Lacombe now. Now Waddington's on an outlap. An Ultimate 42.086. I won't be surprised if we see a 41. Called it! There you go! 41.9 from Sack. $41.7. See what Nilsson can pull out of the bag here. Because he's got a bit more ground to make up on his teammate. And he's only third. He's only third at the moment with a 141.939. 300ths behind Sack. And he'll only have realistically one more shot at going for a fast lap here. So that leaves Anderson coming down the Camel Straight, heading to Lacombe now. Going to be very interesting to see if anybody can topple Path's time. And Anderson with a 42.9 puts him 7th at the moment. After going fastest in Q2. So it's just Ollie and Anderson on the track right now. Four and a half minutes to go. Who is gonna have what it takes to dethrone Path from pole position? This may very well be Waddington's one and only chance at getting a lap in. Yeah, absolutely. But on the YouTube side of things, folks, we have just hit 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So massive thanks to everyone who has subscribed to our YouTube channel so far. Absolutely. Because failing that, he will have one more shot at it realistically. Because there's... Yeah, it's gonna be last chance saloon here. So we'll see what Sash... but Sash is invalidated. So they're only going to have one more shot at it. Here comes Waddington. 42.060 puts him fourth. But he will have one more crack at it. One last crack at the whip. "20 seconds left on the clock. He's currently a couple of tenths up at the moment. And he goes with a 41.5. And that'll be his first pole position of the season since China. At the very most, he will start third. Waddington's not going to be going for another lap. Sasha is. Because, yep, cool as you like. 41.5 to beat. Very clean. Is he going to beat Nilsson? No, he goes fourth. Here comes Anderson. Is he going to improve? He does, but he stays ninth. Only Ollie left. And Path. Oh! He's done it! But what's Ollie going to pull out of the bag here? 42.4. Stays 8th. For Path, that is his For Path, that's his 7th pole of the season. His 7th pole from 8 races. Unbelievable. Path's 7th pole position in 8 races. Absolutely staggering. Penku was the man that broke the streak in Hungary last week. But Path back on form. So let's recap the top 9. Path, Nilsson. It's an all McLaren front row once again. Sack, Sasha, Jazz, Waddington, Ultimate, Ollie, and Anderson. Jazz will be very happy about getting into Q3. And Snipes in the stream chat saying, what have I just witnessed? We just witnessed some very exciting qualifying action. Is that going to translate into the race? Stay tuned to find out. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Round 13 at the legendary Spa-Francorchamps circuit. It's a bit overcast. Are we going to see some rain? We'll find out here as we have the Extreme Racing League X1 division sponsored by CD Keys and Ants 3D. The 3 official languages of Belgium are Dutch, French, and German, but bizarrely not Belgian, believe it or not. I hope you like your waffles and potatoes because there's 30 types of waffles and 10 types of potatoes here in Belgium. And the French fries, believe it or not, invented by the Belgians. We've got Raikkonen and Hamilton with 4 wins each. And Leclerc's win in 2019 was the first time since 1992 that we had a maiden win at this circuit. And Alonso has never won at this circuit either. 4.35 miles, 2 DRS zones, and 19 corners to negotiate. The action zones to look out for. Controversial result between Hamilton and Raikkonen in 2008. Hamilton managing to get ahead, only to be demoted thanks to some rule infringements. regarding overtaking. Eau Rouge and Radion, you gotta have nerves of steel to be able to pull this off. Weber and Alonso back in 2011. And of course, the rivalry between Hakkinen and Schumacher in 2000 down the Kemmel Straight. The three tyre compounds we have are the C3, the C2, and the C1. And you're looking at 22 to 23 seconds to make a pit stop and maintain position on track. So here's the starting grid then. It is Path on pole for the 7th time in 8 races. And he's got his teammate Nilsson alongside him in another all-McLaren front row. Sack in 3rd. And he's got Sasha alongside him on the front row. Jazz, his best qualifying performance of the season, in 5th. He's got Waddington alongside him in 6th. Ultimate will be a little disappointed with that. With 7th, but he's got Ollie for company in 8th. And then you've got Anderson and Mon rounding up the top 10. Followed by Danny, Hazel, Hurricane. He'll be fuming with himself. He'll want to make amends, as will people like Ledger, who also retired in Q1. Minea, JBL, Lopez, Tamer, Erdika, and Penku. That's the rest of the grid. Penku, spectacularly, going to be starting at the back of the grid. Could we see last to first here today? Stay tuned to find out. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. And like I say, we could have a last to first here. And of course, no formation lap here. So once we get the all clear to ready up, it will be a case of straight into the race. 22 laps of this circuit. Yeah. Indeed. So can Path convert pole into a win and edge one step closer to the championship, or will Nilsson spoil the party? What about the hometown hero Ollie? What can he do from 8th on the grid? And how far up the field can Penku get? He will, indeed, he'll be looking for redemption today after what happened 7 days ago at Hungary. So here come the lights. 4, 5. Lights out, and it's race time in Belgium. Waddington already off to a very clean start. A little bit of shuffling at the back, as is often the case. Nilsson and Sack battling for second place. Mon already up 3 places off the start. Everyone away relatively cleanly. Now this is going to be interesting. Who is there going to be any damage? This is mainly the midfield that have shuffled positions. Nilsson and Path side by side heading through Lake Coombe. But Path keeping the lead as it stands. That'll be a first lap front wing change. That'll be a first lap front wing change for for Erdica. The streak continues. Hazel plummeting down the... 5-second penalty for Jazz for a collision with Anderson. Does Anderson have damage? Yes, he does. Oh my word. Ledger involved as well. Safety car is out already. Jazz, Ledger, Anderson. Jazz, Ledger, Anderson. Oh dear. He'll more than like... Yeah, he'll more than likely be able to serve that 5-second penalty while he's getting his front wing changed. And oh! Path's in the pits already. What happened to him? But he's going for hard tires. That's interesting. That's a very unusual strategy call from Path. And even that's an understatement. Ultimate Jazz Manea. Yeah, Manea. Oh, and the Alphas have double stacked. The Alpha... Oh, dear. Jazz down 14. Ultimate down 8. Anderson down 8. Ledger down 6. Path down 13 because he stopped at the end of that first lap, interestingly. So it's just Ollie, Nilsson and Mon that are on soft tyres. Everyone else is on mediums or hards. Absolutely. Absolutely. There we go. Ledger has managed to catch up. Absolutely. We'll wait and see what happens. It looks like we could see some rain for this race as well, but we'll wait and see what happens. Yeah, but I think Nilsson is going to be very eager to get himself up and running again. So there we go. So let's recap the top 10 at the moment as we get ready for the safety car restart. Nilsson leads, Zach second, Sasha third, Waddington fourth, Mon fifth. Great start from him, starting 10th. Ollie 6th, up 2 places. Hazel 7th, Danny 8th, Tamer 9th, and JBL rounding up the top 10. Coming through the bus stop chicane now. And we're underway once again. Here we go. Waddington trying to get ahead of Sasha for third place, heading into La Source. And I think he's got it. No, not quite. Waddington gets ahead. Three wide between... and Sasha into second place! Are you kidding me? Shades of Hakkinen and Schumacher between Zach, Waddington and Sasha. 3 wide down the Camel Straight. Gonna take something very special to be able to top that. But the thing to take into account is that Sasha is going to be on soft tyres for the end of the race. That's... They're side by side. Who's going to give? Oh, they almost touch. Justin no more. Yeah, that was always going to be touch and go, but but very clean between the two. Virtual safety car. That's on the run up to Stavilo. Been a weekend to forget for Erdika. Who knows? And Mon. Yeah. Mon taking the opportunity to come in. Goes for a set of mediums. Hazel drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. Are we gonna see three? Are we gonna see 3 wide again? Yes, we are. What's Penko gonna pull out of the bag? 8th to 6th. 8 to 6, just like that. Ultimate's gone. And oh my word! That. But take a bow, Penku. That could be interesting, but the big question is, did he get past before the virtual safety car came out? Yeah, but it it was behind Penku though. That's the thing we've got to take into account. Well, I certainly hope we do get 1 or 2 more, because for Sasha especially, yeah, absolutely. Cool as you like. We're almost halfway through the race already. He's the first of the front runners in. Definitely not. Everyone now on either mediums or hards. Yeah, that's Anderson's first penalty of the day. Anderson and Part are the only drivers outside the top 10 to have. They're the only drivers inside the top 10, sorry, to have any time penalties. That's the third victim of Radion in the race. What? Could you clip that and send that to me, please? Flippin' hamburgers! That must have been scary for Lopez. That's going to bunch everybody up, and that's going to allow those that are on mediums to essentially try and get a free pit stop out of this and get onto... Crucially, Sack and Waddington have no penalties, but are we going to see a double stack? Oh, not as bad as he was fearing. Nilsson back in the lead meanwhile. So Hurricane and Hazel have decided to follow suit. They're going on to softs as well. That's going to put Nilsson at somewhat of a disadvantage. That wouldn't surprise me if that were the case. Oh, poor Lopez. I was like, you're gonna feel bad for him, but I was like, thankfully he's okay. But the fact that his car was upside down, though? Safety car in this lap, though. Oh, that'll be interesting for the race results. 6 laps to go now. Grandstand finish time! And oh, Warrington in the wall of La Source! Warrington in the wall at La Source! He's plummeted down to last! That's definitely going to be one for the stewards. Second to the lead! Nilsson will be kicking himself over that. Not coming in for softs. Let's have a look at the penalties. He's only got 3 seconds worth of penalties. So he should be able to get past these guys without much difficulty. And at the same time, be able to... And Waddington's retired from the race. Definitely. That's a 5th retirement of the day. Dearie, dearie me. This could be advantageous for Penku. Not what he would have wanted for his home race. Zach actually starting to pull away now from this battle for second place between Nielsen and Penku. There's going to be 3 laps to go after this. With the way the penalties are right now, Penku will go down to, I think, 5th. And Minea, 5-second penalty for crossing the pit lane exit line. That's interesting. And Penku into second place! Penku's into second! Now he needs to hunt Zach down. Yeah, just having a look at the... My goodness me. But having a look at the time... I'm having a look at the time penalties on screen right now. Just trying to do the maths. As it stands, Penku will drop down to, I believe, 4th, because Nielsen and Sasha will jump him because they don't have any penalties yet. Parth will, I think, stay 5th. Parth will stay 5th. And oh, he's gone! The hometown hero's gone! And Anderson's gone as well! On the exit of Stavilo! $13 we're down to now. And I don't... That is gonna be interesting. Indeed. I don't think Penku's gonna have enough time to get ahead of Sak and get the 3-second gap he needs to maintain the race win. There's not enough time, there's not enough laps. Absolutely. Absolutely. No DRS for Penku. He's not going to catch Sack unless Sack has a spectacular incident on this last lap. Warrington in the stream chat saying, "Bring it home, Sacky boy." Yes, this will only be his second win of the season. But as it stands, he will jump Nilsson in the standings and go into second, and he will actually close the gap on Path, who's down in fourth at the moment, pending any penalties. Absolutely. But here comes Sack through the bus stop chicane for the last time today. His second win of the season. His 6th X1 win. Sack comes across the line and wins a very thrilling Belgian Grand Prix. Nilsson in second on penalty countback. Sasha up to third. Penku down to fourth. Path in fifth. JBL crosses in sixth. Ledger seventh. Tamer leapfrogs them both. Tamer 6th, JBL 7th, Jazz 8th, Ledger 9th, and Danny rounds up the top 10. Yeah, but Hazel has the fastest lap outside the top 10, so he'll get a point for that. Sack, with no penalties, he'll get a bonus points for a clean, penalty-free race, and he's got the fastest lap as well. And there he goes. It's got to be Penku. Got to be Penku. There it is. Codemasters can get something right. Yeah. Yeah. But the crucial thing to take away from this is that Sack leapfrogs Nilsson and closes the gap on Path in the championship. So let's recap the race results pending any penalties. We got Sack, Nilsson, Sasha. That's your podium. Sack with the fastest lap of the race and penalty free as well, as was Nilsson and Sasha and Tamer for that matter. Penku fourth, then Path, Tamer, JBL, Jazz, Ledger, Danny, Hurricane, Hazel, and Minea. Your non-finishers: Anderson, Ollie, Waddington, Lopez, Ultimate, Mon, and Erdica. Hurricane, Hazel, Tamer, Sasha, Nilsson, and Sasha. Sack, Sasha, and Sack, Nilsson, and Sasha. The podium were penalty free. Tamer was penalty free, as was Hurricane and Hazel. So they'll get some bonus points for a penalty free race as well. Yeah, but still, that's another thrilling race on the tally. Let's see what the X2 boys can do in just over an hour's time. In the meantime, Harry, as always, thanks for joining me this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you for what has been an absolute barnstormer of a race. And a big thanks to you guys. And a big thanks to you guys watching at home as well. We've got the X2 following in just over an hour's time. But in the meantime, this is Kenzie Retro signing off, and we'll see you guys again next week, where we head to the track of speed, Monza. Until then, thank you and good night.